Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat for Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go to the Tricky Triangle at Pocono for both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. And in the Xfinity race, we had subscriber Majestic Cow in the car. Yes, you heard that correctly. Majestic Cow was in our car as he went down towards turns 1. Pocono, not a great track in this game for Xfinity. I feel like the car is always really tight, and he would certainly fall victim to that in this race as he went down this kind of first back straightaway down towards that tunnel turn, but started about mid-pack here in Pocono, and he would move his way forwards a little bit there as he had actually gotten battling with Joe Wiggins, because like I said, he moved forwards, but he started falling back towards the later stages of this race as he got into it there with the 36, getting into the wall actually, nearly turning him, as that certainly created a bit of a moment, a lot of positions lost, and he came through now on the final lap through turns 3 for the final time now. So Majestic Cow, unfortunately, didn't have the best races. Like I said, the car is just so tight at Pocono in this, in Xfinity, so it was very tough as he would finish down in P32, so a very rough finish for us. Certainly going to hurt our chances of making it to the playoffs, but now we come through into the Cup Series through turn 3 out of the corner, qualifying here a little bit loose in the corners, and that certainly bit us in the lap time, as then we could have had something better with the 53.9, and we go P13, which still isn't too bad. Now as we get ready to start this race here at the Pocono 400, and on the pole we have the 42 of Kyle Larson, surprisingly.
We're live from Pocono Raceway for the Pocono 400. The Tricky Triangle's different than any other track these drivers will encounter all year, so nailing the setup of the car is crucial. Which of these teams will unravel the mystery that is Pocono? Let's go find out.
All right, thank you, Rick Allen, and we're ready to go green here in the Pocono 400. Chase Elliott is having a stellar weekend. He starts on the front row with Kyle Larson. Matt Benedetto's car is really fast today, so we might have to watch out for him. Brendan Gaughan just doesn't look like himself, but Kyle Larson, I can confirm this was his first pole of the career mode, because I haven't had to touch any of his stats since we started recording them here in the career mode until this race, when he gets pole 1 of the career mode. Now, as the green flag is that we are on our way from the 13th starting position and the Tricky Triangle now, behind our teammate of Eric Almirola, who's having a decent season, but he certainly isn't having a stellar one. This was the last track that Eric actually won at in our career mode. Obviously, the second Pocono race last season, Almirola was able to duel it out with the 31 of Tyler Reddick, if you remember that episode where Almirola did come out with the victory. And now as we exit turn 1 down this first back straightaway there, you see Kurt Busch just behind us as we go down towards that tunnel turn. There's some rumors going around that maybe we might actually be lined up to potentially replace the one car of Kurt Busch, but we're not sure and what the truth is to those rumors. Can't really say where we're going yet, but there's certainly some rumors flying around about that. I did put up a poll for you guys to vote on a YouTube community post on kind of where you want to see me go. Like I said, the top result is not necessarily going to win. I'm just kind of curious what your guys' thoughts are. Now, as the top one was like Hendrick Motorsports says, we have a bit of a moment as we exit turn 3 there with Kurt Busch in the one car there as we would cross the line, running up inside this top 10. Kyle Busch gets behind me. We had actually had draft partners turned on for this race, as I was kind of being experimental to see how it would go on these bigger tracks like Pocono, Michigan, and maybe even Indianapolis there, as we would come through now on lap 4 of 11 in the first stage, running P9 there, slipping and sliding though through the trial, thankfully hanging onto the car, but clearly we're going to have to make an adjustment at the end of this first stage. Now is Blaney, I believe that is. No, that's Keselowski behind us actually pushing us. Now there's trouble up ahead though. It's the one of Kurt Busch who goes crashing into the outside wall, down into traffic as he goes spinning. He hits me on the right side, so I already know that's going to slow us up a little bit on the next restart due to that little bit of a glitch. And sure enough, we don't have the greatest launch there compared to the AI as we get back going. No pit stop necessary, but the car didn't slow down too much, thankfully, as I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. Now as we're on the inside of Eric Jones as we go down towards turns 1. So Kurt Busch, a very early exit here today in Pocono now, as it's actually Chase Elliott leading the way, so a lot of people might be happy to see that now as we come through out of turns 1, slipping in, sliding again, nearly hitting the 95 as we go down towards the inside wall. We save it, but it's pretty clear that this car is way too loose and we're going to have to adjust on it at the end of this first stage. Now as Truex comes through, as I was trying to not take anyone 3 wide down into the tunnel turn now as we come through this trial. It was Elliott out in front of Kyle Busch and Eric Almirola, who finds himself running up front. So Almirola last season finally turned up his just performance in the kind of the summer months of the season, and it looks like maybe he's trying to do that again here today as we get towards that kind of mid-season point already. Obviously, this season is just flying by here. Our second season in the 41 car could be our final season. We don't know what's going on yet with here rumors that Daniel Suarez actually might have some money lined up to maybe even give us the boot here in the 41. So we're going to see obviously how that goes, but we come through with 2 to go at this point in the stage, only running P13 as I was just struggling with the handling of this car being way too loose, but we would be able to run these guys down on the final lap of the first stage. Now I was getting right to the inside of Kyle Larson out of the tunnel turn side by side with him, getting to the back of the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as well to the left side of him as we go down into turn 3 for the final time here in the first and opening stage in Pocono, trying to get up into the top 10, but doesn't look like it's going to happen because Jones holds that spot for P10 down the front straightaway side by side with Stenhouse. He's going to hang on to the spot as we get P12 here in stage 1. So still nothing to be too disappointed with considering how the car handled, but it was Kyle Busch who got ahead of Elliott to get the stage victory. Kyle Busch is dominating this season right now. If he keeps it up, he's going to have like 8-9 wins before the playoffs even start. He's going to be easily in the final 4 no matter what, but we would take 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, make a bit of a wedge adjustment. We put it up to from 49.9 to 50.1, and hopefully that will help us out quite a bit here in the second stage. We did gain 2 positions on the pit lane, so now we find ourselves starting in P10 here for the start of Stage 2 in Pocono. The green flag zone. Stage 2 is officially underway. Behind us, we got the 42 of Kyle Larson and the 20 of Eric Jones on our inside, the 88 of Alex Bowman, who's been leading that Hendrick Motorsports Club all season long so far as he looks to continue that today in Pocono. But obviously right now he's not the top driver on the team here in today's race. It's clearly the 9 of Chase Elliott, who is still looking though for win number 1 on the season. It's taking Elliott a little bit of time to get that first win of the season now to go down the straightaway, using that drive from Hamlin to try to get alongside Kyle Larson down this back straightaway as we actually would get into the back of Hamlin down towards that tunnel turn as I try to give him a big shove into the corner. He goes very sideways, slipping and sliding, goes the 11, and we thankfully keep it off him, and he keeps it straight, but that certainly holds us very far back now as everyone slides through on the inside. Now we're down in P15 as the 8 of Daniel Hemrick goes by, and the 17 of Stenhouse is in the picture, and there's the 48 of Jimmy Johnson trying to get up here as well as he's battling it out with other drivers for that final playoff spot right now. As we're at that time of the season where we're really got to start paying attention to the playoff picture. Obviously, we're not in any rough shape. We've got 2 wins. We're locked in, but we haven't had a top 10 since we won at Richmond. So we're in a bit of a rough patch right now. Hopefully, we can turn that around here today as we would continue battling with these guys now as we had climbed up to P11, passing Ryan Blaney. Hamlin had followed us through as we went down into the tunnel turn. We actually go 3 wide with the 2 of Keselowski and the 11 of Hamlin. I keep thinking that's Ryan Blaney there in the 2 car with that paint scheme now, as now Stenhouse gets in front of us as we go down into turn 3. Elliott still leading the way at this point now as we get back up the inside of the 17 for P12 through the center of the corner now on the exit, trying to get clear of Stenhouse, but can't quite do so down this front straightaway. And as we come through approaching lap 7, just 4 to go in the stage, we get back to that left-hand side, but now the caution comes out. The stage actually gets called early, and I believe Chase Elliott is the stage winner. Yes, he is. Matt DiBenedetto P3, but I couldn't find out what brought out that caution. But either way, the stage gets ended early. I decided to make a minor wedge adjustment, put it back down to 50.0 because I felt like the car was actually a little bit too tight in that second stage. So now we gain 2 positions once again, and we'll restart here in P10 as we just haven't quite been in the mix here today in Pocono. But the green flag though is back out. Stage 3 is underway. Not a whole lot of time. It is 17 laps to go as we have the 42 of Kyle Larson behind us and the 2 of Brad Keselowski. But like I said, we just haven't quite had the pace that I would hope for. The car just wasn't quite driving like I wanted it to in stage 1. It was too loose. Stage 2, like I said, it felt a little bit too tight. So hopefully putting it down to 50.0 can be a nice little balance and help us out here as we go down the straightaway. Larson in P10 as we cross over in front of the 19 of Truex to get to the inside of the Ganassi driver now as we're side by side with Larson towards that tunnel turn there. You see our teammate Kevin Harvick on the outside of the 20 of Eric Jones. Now is the 10. He moves up the track. Almirola having a great run here today in Pocono, and he's looking to continue it in these final 16 and a half laps as we're going to make it 3 wide with Eric Jones and Kevin Harvick down into turn 3. And now as we're going to get very aggressive through the center of the corner, Elliott still leads as we clear the 20 of Jones. Harvick as well as is going to get to my back, but remember was we actually hit the wall on the exit of turn 3, damaging the right side. Jones gets back ahead, and now Harvick, he would try to get to my inside down this front straightaway now, as he was certainly getting the momentum there, as he's going to hit me in the bumper just a little bit there. Down towards turns 1, nearly turning me. It felt like he was about to just hook me, and we slide into the corner, and that allows Harvick to get to my inside and make the pass on me, but we would be able to fight with him still and run down Eric Jones in the process as well within the next lap or so, as we came to lap 26 out of the tunnel turn. Harvick to the inside, Jones up top. I decided I'm going to go right through the middle between these two, 3 wide up the middle between Harvick and Jones, and we take over P8 now, as it's still Elliott leading the way at this point now, as we came through though on through turns 1 and lap 27. Harvick once again to my back bumper now as we head down the straightaway. He actually gets to my inside, and we're going to side draft him really hard, pushing him down all the way to the inside, but I give him the room he needs into the tunnel turn to make sure he can successfully get through that corner without any issues. But that certainly damage on the right side was pretty annoying at this point, as it did definitely tighten up the car as we came through. Now on lap 30, there's a spinner behind. Michael McDowell goes spinning pretty hard into the outside wall, and the caution is going to come out as he collects Daniel Hemrick in the process. Jimmy Johnson piles in as well, and that certainly isn't a surprise. Jimmy Johnson always finds himself in these crashes in this game, which is very unfortunate for him, especially when he's trying to make the playoffs. But you see me make some a bit of a call there on the pit lane. 4 tires did not become the right call at all, because now here we are, P22, with potentially the final restart of the race. So once again, we screwed up the pit call, as I've kind of gotten the strategy down on 1.5 short tracks, whatnot, but for some reason when it comes to these bigger tracks like Auto Club, Pocono, Michigan, I still haven't quite got the strategy figured out there, as it seems to differ just a little bit, as I felt like 4 tires with a track like Pocono, with the amount of time we had left, would probably be the right call. I think they would honestly have taken 4 tires in real life, but that's not the case here today in Pocono. So now we find ourselves once again playing catch up. We got the 2 wins on the season, it's okay, but certainly would love to be battling for some playoff points with the stage victories now, as we're going to be able to pass Daniel Hemrick, and we were quickly slicing our way through as we climbed up to P16, passing Martin Truex Jr. now on lap 35, a 40 for P15 as we went down towards turns 1, and like I said, just continuing to work our way forwards, but the caution again comes out here with 5 or 6 laps to go in Pocono. So this would set us up for a 3-lap dash to end the race here in Pocono. Not a good start for Keselowski at all, as I try to give him a shove, but once I give him a shove, it completely destroys the pace in my car as well as we go down this front straightaway. So all of a sudden, the final restart has completely been ruined for us, as I was just trying to help out the 2 of Keselowski, and unfortunately messed myself up now as we go down into turns 1. Thankfully, we didn't lose as much time as I thought we would, because we come through with 2 to go. We had gotten back to the 2 of Keselowski, and we easily breezed on past the 2 of Brad now, as we would get into the battle here with Denny Hamlin. There you see Kyle Larson, Chris Buescher. Obviously, we're not in the mix for the win. Chase Elliott had actually left the bottom lane open to Kyle Busch through turns 1, and Kyle Busch would get up in the mix, trying to take the win from Elliott and get win number 6 already on the season, as we go down the straightaway side by side with the 42 of Kyle Larson. There you see the 37 of Buescher, as we actually struggled a little bit to get past Buescher, because now as we came through just the final lap, we had finally gotten past him. Kyle Busch, though, had been in the front, leading the way on this final lap over Chase Elliott, who just didn't quite have enough for Kyle Busch on this final lap as we come through the tunnel turn for the final time. A little bit loose on the exit of the corner, but now we look to the inside of Hamlin. Jones holds P10, and we get past Hamlin for 11th, but not quite close enough to Jones to try and get to his inside, though. Through the center of the corner, we have a chance as we come out of turn 3. We're going to run him up the track a little bit, but it's Kyle Busch leading the way down the front straightaway. Win number 6 on the season for Kyle Busch, for Joe Gibbs Racing, as we cross the line just in front of Hamlin, getting P11 here in Pocono now, as Kyle Busch just cannot be stopped here in this career mode this season, as he's just dominating this whole season. I can't not believe how much of a breeze he is flying through the season with, because he just wins every other race, it seems like, right now. So certainly Kyle Busch, 38 playoff points on the season. He is putting himself in a position to be a Final Four lock at the halfway point of the regular season. I didn't do a media quote after this race, as I just didn't really feel like there was much to say. We just kind of struggled the whole race and didn't even get into the top 10. Well, obviously there was a few moments where we were running in the top 10, but just didn't quite have what we needed in this one. And as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. If you're a Kyle Busch fan, you got to be loving the season of our career mode right now, as I know he's definitely the winningest driver in our career mode for sure. Someone asked me what the top 5 is. I'm trying to figure that out which should be pretty easy. But in the next one, we go to Michigan, so that one's going to be pretty fun, I think, as we will have draft partners turned on again for that one. I said, it's a big track, so we're going to get experimental here in the midway point of the season with some of the settings. But there you see the playoff grid on your screen. So we're second, and Jimmy Johnson is the last car in. Kyle Larson now 18 points out. He is rallying his way back forwards. Corey LaJoie 20 out, but certainly going to be pretty close with William Byron fading down the order at this point in the season. We're going to see if he can find his way back to the front now, as that will do it though for this episode. So thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this one. I will see you guys in the next one for Michigan. Have a great day, everybody.